Hi guys, I'm Aussie Villa. Welcome to episode 69, significant for some, of Raise the Holte, our bid for world domination with Aston Villa. Now today we have two big games. We play Stoke City away in the league. They're 7th. They're a decent enough team this year. They're doing well. And then we play Inter Milan in the final group game of the Champions League group stage. And we'll have a look at the ramifications of that in just a second. But as you can see, since last episode where we went to the new camp and snatched ourselves a nice tasty 1-0 win thanks to Antonio Marin. 3 games and 3 really, really good results, to be honest. We played Watford first up. Absolutely dominant. Grealish got an injury. Wasn't too bad. It's a couple of weeks, and it came as an international break after this game, so it didn't cost us too badly. But you can see here, we absolutely dominated the game. We actually hit the post about 3 or 4 times as well. But defender Rodrigo got a goal, as did John McGinn, who came in for Grealish and was quite good actually in that advanced playmaker role. Striker Rodrigo, and then Chris Ayer knocked in a nice solid 4th goal for us in the 90th minute. But you can see there, absolutely played them off the park. Then we played Spurs. Now we do have a dodgy record against Spurs, or at least it seems that way. I don't like playing them, but we were the better team in this, and it shouldn't even have been close, to be honest. Almeida got the goal for us just on the hour mark. Harry Kane pulled one back. It was just a dodgy long ball over the top. It was just like, come on, we're better than that. But Marin, 3 minutes later, went and won it for us again. So as you can see there, we absolutely deserved to win it. So I was really, really happy that we did, because it would have been annoying to drop points at home in a game that we sort of outplayed them like that. Then we played Basel, however you want to say it, in the Champions League. We did rotate a little bit for this one because it was at home. We'd already qualified from the group. It was just a matter of whether we top it or not. But the guys that came in did a wonderful job. Rabi opened the scoring. They got one back, but then Almeida again and Andre Green chipping in with the goals. Lee Hendry got a taste of Champions League football in this one as well, so that was good. Yeah, but you can see once again, absolutely dominated the game and played really, really well. Now let's have a look at what all this means for league tables. And you can see Barcelona beat Inter, which means we've topped the group, which is absolutely amazing. That we've gone and done that. So that means ahead of the game against Inter today, if we were to win that and Barcelona were to beat Bale, which you would expect them to do, Inter could actually miss out on the Champions League knockout rounds altogether. So it's a big game for them. It's a big game for us as well, because what we're going to do is we're going to play some of our reserves, some of the kids, because it doesn't really mean anything to us. And to be honest, we beat Inter 4-1 at home. We drew Barcelona. I think I'd rather Barcelona be knocked out, if we're going to play sort of sneaky cards where we can. Yeah, so we'll see how that goes. But the league table, look at that. High-flying Aston Villa, 3 points ahead of Arsenal, 6 points ahead of Liverpool, and even West Brom is up there, which is a little bit surprising, perhaps. The real surprises, I think, are City and Spurs, who are actually, at this point in the season, 14 games gone, officially struggling, I think. But there, that's what's happened. So let's have a look at the team that we are sending out to play Stoke. And this is the big game this episode, I think, as I said, because there's more riding on this, I think, than the other game for us, certainly long term. So this is it. It is Gaz Mosley in goal. It's Dali, Rodrigo, Chambers and Kosic as a back four. Tonali and Grealish in midfield. Omegar, I should say, Almeida and Marin. They go sort of the attacking trio in behind Rodrigo. So here we go. It looks like we're matching up man for man with them. Now, like I say, they are a decent team this year. They're doing quite well. They're expected to be a passing team. What I have been doing lately on the team talks is trying to take the pressure off. That doesn't seem to be an option here. So that being the case, I feel like sometimes my problem with team talks is I try and be really almost like a binary about it. Like, if this, then we'll do this. If not, we'll do this as a team talk. Yeah, so very inflexible like that. So, yeah, anyway, we'll see how we go here. Certainly not one, not saying things off the top of my head. And sometimes, they can be the best team talks, can't they? News on the contract front. Dali, our left back, has signed a new contract. He was only on about 3 or 4 grand a week, so he's on 35 now, rising up a little bit more to about 50 once he plays 25 first team games. It's fair enough. We have 2 left backs, of which he is one of them. So we need to pay our boys to keep him at the club. Now, here's a chance for Marin on the counter attack. He's picked it up. We've got men forward with him. Can he go himself? He plays a beautiful ball for Rodrigo. Oh, he's heavy touch. Omar's there, and he can't put it in either. Oh, unlucky. Rodrigo, could he have done better there? It looked like a bit of a heavy touch almost. Yeah, so that's a disappointment. Throw comes in. We've won that back. Kosic, what's he going to do? In for Grealish. Grealish goes early for Rodrigo. Brings it down nicely. Back for Almeida. Almeida for Marin. Marin, beautiful turn. Antonio Marin. Unlucky. That would have been a really, really good goal. He sold his defender up the river, didn't he? That was a really, really good turn. Let's give it a get creative here. Let's not put too much pressure on him, but... Alright, here we go. Let's get this opening goal, boys. Grealish chests it down nicely. Goes back. Chambers are like this, building up the play. It's a bit of a loose pass, but Kostic has done well. In for Almeida. Look at this. First time stuff. Rashid! Oh! It's a decent save again! Not the best finish, to be honest. It wasn't placed in a corner, but still, it was... Come on, boys. We need this opening goal. Just settle down the manager's nerves. Grealish, back post. Headed back towards goal. It's headed clear, and... Are we going to find ourselves on the counter-attack here from our own corner? Oh, no. That was a bit of a loose pass. It's given us half a chance to get back. One thing we do have is good pace in the team, so we can retreat back relatively quickly. And I think we saw that there, so that was good. Chambers brings it out, goes early and not the best ball. Can we get to that second ball? No, we can't. Is it coming back at us? It would appear so. It would appear so. All right, they've gone over the top. Let's get a block in if we can. No, head that away. Chambers does just that. It's still there. It's decent pressure. We can't get it clear. Timon, back post. Oh, there's no one there. Oh, it's the crossbar. We've got away with one there. I don't think Gaz got a hand on it. Yeah, we did get away with that. Just ever so slightly. Let's try to demand more when we can, but there's still no option to give the shout. Fred plays it in. They are just starting to get a bit of dominance here. Can we get to that ball first? No. It's good. We are putting good pressure on them. That I like. What I'm not liking is the fact that we're just not really getting any possession of the ball. That's easy for Gaz, though. That's surely not the highlight. Can we go and do ourselves a favour here and get this goal? It does have the feel of a game that the first goal could be very important. There's a decent ball in behind for Rodrigo. Checks back in, though. He's got defenders everywhere. He goes himself. Rodrigo! Oh, it was almost a wonderful, wonderful goal. It was a corner. It was a good save in the end. Come on, Grealish. Let's get a bit of quality in here. It comes in. It's too easy for Jack Butland. Oh, come on, boys. Let's give it a demand more. Come on. Let's go get this goal, please. It has been a relatively even game, hasn't it? Both teams... Was that a header from Mosley? The lesser-sighted goalkeeper header. Yeah, I mean, it has been sort of back and forth, hasn't it? We started well, they came back into it, and we might just be having another spell now. We need to make... Oh, it's a cracking ball for Almeida. It's tackled away for Marin to tap it in! 7 goals now this season for Antonio Marin. He's back on form. He was a little bit quiet last year in front of goal. But not this year. 7 goals already. And that is just amazing. Really, really good stuff from Rashid here. Ball nicely done through to Almeida. Tackled away, but it just was a perfect through ball, wasn't it? I don't think Almeida could have played that ball any better himself if he had actually played the pass and not had it tackled away. Was it offside? This run from Almeida is absolutely... If they'd called that back, we would have been walking off the pitch. Yeah, that run from Almeida, though, was just a thing of beauty, wasn't it? Perfectly timed. And Rashid picked him out with perfection. Lots of P's in that sentence. All right, so hopefully we'll be able to get in here. We do deserve the lead, don't we? What do we... Oh, Everton's beating Liverpool, and they're down to 10 men. That could be a massive, massive result for us. And Spurs is playing Arsenal and drawing them. This could be a big game if we can hang on here. I'm going to say I'm not particularly happy with that. Match ratings aren't fantastic. We're only 1-0 up. Yeah, Rodrigo has gone off the boil just a little bit. He hasn't been getting as... I think the thing is that he's been getting chances. He hasn't been putting them away like he was in the early weeks of the season. You can see here again, playing a 6-5. I have actually been subbing him off in a few games. Just because he's been missing chances. The problem is that, I mean, Rahibi, or whatever his name is, came in and did really well against Bale. Took his chance well, was involved like in the link-up play quite nicely in a couple of the other goals. So, you know, he's a wonder kid as well. We have a lot of good options here. Mosley's picked up a booking. I wonder what that was for. Surely not time wasting this early on. Marin's in a little bit of space to run into. Here he goes again. Oh, what a pass that is from Rodrigo. Oh, unlucky, tackled away at the last second as Rashid was ready to pull the trigger. We'll give this a demand more perhaps when we can here, please, game. Any second, there we go. In terms of players that need to maybe come off, Tonali's not having his best game. Almeida's looking tired. I wonder if it might be an option to just start and close this thing down a little bit with Almeida looking tired. Wait and see what happens here first of all. Maybe take him off, put on a DM. Marin's check back beautifully there for Rashid. Can he square it? He's got 2 in the middle if he can. Oh, it's a tap in for Almeida. Oh, what a goal. What a team goal that is. 8 goals this year now for Almeida as well. That should put the game beyond doubt, as the commentary said there. Nice little knockdown from Rodrigo. Marin, that little pullback was just a thing of beauty. And then Rashid here, look at that. Pulled it back. Any one of 3 men could have scored if they'd actually really tried to get in there for it. We'll give it a demand more. And we will now make that sub. There's no point running Almeida into the ground here. We can protect our lead as well by doing this, so that just seems to make sense to me on 2 levels. We'll throw him back in there. We might even switch those 2 around. No, we'll leave it. We'll leave Tonelli in midfield. There we go. Everyone looks a little bit more comfortable there. Is there anything else we want to do? I don't necessarily think so. We'll leave it like that. My plan for the Inter game is I think we're going to rest the wingers, and we're going to go, what's the other one? Like with the wing backs, 5-3-2. Get 2 men up front. Chambers has picked up a knock. Let's not leave him out there dead on his feet. And my plan is that we're going to give Brian Carlos and Paul Walker, they're both naturally strikers. We're going to play them both up front. What's his name? Nick Roberts is injured right now, so we can't play him anyway. So that's not an option. So I think the 5-3-2 will be an interesting option for us. Spurs is beating Arsenal. We could go 6 points clear of Arsenal here. And like I said, I knew we had a good young team. I'll be honest, I wasn't sure that we'd be 6 points ahead of Arsenal, like 6 points clear at the top. Early December good, to be honest. But we'll take it. Still a long way to go. That is a really, really good performance away from home. We scored some good goals. For the most part, we've dominated the game. Just the one shot on target. I think it was a bit closer than that, wasn't it? It was a little bit nervy at times in that first half. We're going to have to guard against complacency going forward, and forward we shall go. So almost the perfect round there. Liverpool did end up losing another man sent off as well, so they're going to have suspension problems as well. Arsenal lost, so as I said, we are now 6 points clear of Arsenal, 9 points clear of Liverpool. That's a massive gap at any time of the year, isn't it? Stoke lose ground. That's of course not as good as us. We get 50%. Oh, so Jake Watmo, we signed him. Was it first year in the Premier League? I think. He was fine. He just never really did anything for us. So he went off to Cardiff. We pretty much got our money, but we have got our money back now, almost exactly, haven't we? So good luck to him. He is a good championship player. That is probably his level, to be fair. Anyway, guys, wait right there. We are going to come back for Inter Milan in the final group stage Champions League game. Okay, welcome back. Now, as you can see, Barcelona's already played. They had an early kickoff, or actually a day before kickoff. It must be another. Is there another Swiss team playing at home? I don't know why they would play the day earlier, but they did. Barcelona won 6-1, which means that Inter have to beat us now. A draw isn't good enough for them. They have to beat us to make sure that they go into the knockout rounds and Barcelona miss out. So, I'm not saying we want to lose. I'm just saying if Inter were to win, Barcelona gets eliminated, and that maybe helps us down the line a little bit, doesn't it? So this is the team we're sending out. Now, unfortunately, we have injuries or sickness for Bergkamp, and Walker and Roberts are both injured. So those guys miss out on this one. But otherwise, we've tried to give as many of you a game here as possible. So Gaz Mosley goes in goal. Harry Thomas, Godfrey and AR as the back 3. Bree down the right. Pedro down the left. This is kind of the position we brought him in for. Not the best defensively, but just getting up and down that wing. So hopefully, well, it's a good opportunity to see how it goes, isn't it? Bal, I haven't really figured out how you say this yet. Bal, McGinn and Lee Hendry in midfield with Botheim and Brian Carlos up top. Now, these two had quite the partnership in the Europa League, so hopefully that will continue here. I'm actually really curious to see how Brian Carlos does, because I have a theory he only really plays well on a 2, because he's really, really good at getting across the near post, and I think that only really works for him if he has a strike partner, basically. So, like I said, I'm really curious to see how he goes here. So let's get out there and see how we go. Of course, great day out, isn't it, in Milan for the Villa fans. Oh, for the days of European football to be back. One thing I do want to quickly mention. Now, every now and again, I like to do the press conference things. And now, sometimes in the games, I don't, you might have questions. Why is a player playing? Why are we using a tactic? Why, whatever it might be. I set up an email address, aussievillainy@gmail.com. If you have any questions like that you would want to ask, send me a little sound file. And what I'll do is I'll make sure you include your name and media outlet, and I'll play them out in a press conference and answer them for you in a press conference. So if you want to know why, it's a good ball to the back post and we're 1-0 down. See, now instantly, now I sort of snap into we have to win mode, because that's what happens when the game starts. I'm instantly annoyed that we're losing. So if you have any questions, why is a player playing? Why isn't your regen playing? Whatever it might be. It might be a bit of fun. And so just email me a sound file, and we'll look to do press conferences that way as well. So sometimes it's difficult to come up with questions for myself. So I thought we'll give this a try and see what happens. But I'll put the email address. I'll put it there earlier so you can see it as well. But aussievillainy@gmail.com. Here's Lee Hendry. Oh, it's almost a worldie from Lee Hendry. Unbelievable. I can't remember if I said there's the goals of the month at the end of this episode as well. It was after this game, obviously, now. So make sure you stick around for that as well. We haven't done too badly, really, have we? All things considered here. Pedro as a left back is not something I would normally do. Maybe that's taking the experiment a little bit too far. Rafinha over a free kick. Oh, I think Gaz had that covered. But otherwise, it's not too bad. It's a little bit experimental, but I certainly don't think it's not ridiculous. Any team selection here. It would have been nice to give a couple of the other youngsters a game that are injured, but I can't do anything about that. Wasn't our best half of football, though, was it? Well, let's get aggressive and say I expect much better this second half. We've demotivated James Bree, so we'll get him. It's a big game. He's playing against a good team, so he's going to play rubbish anyway, because that's just what James Bree seems to do. I don't like that Pedro is looking nervous. We do have Nepo on the bench. Our next game in the league is against West Ham. They're currently bottom. So we could look to bring Nepo on here if we had to. And Darley should be able to do a job. Oh, he's been beaten at the near post again. Gaz, I've got to put that one on you, mate. That was not great. We're being done for this. It's almost a carbon copy of the last goal, isn't it? It's just a ball out wide, a deep cross in. And just not going with our man. Bree again. I think I'm going to actively start looking to replace Bree, if I'm honest. How many times do we see when there's a goal conceded, James Bree is sort of, well, he's not nearby but he should be nearby. Godfrey goes early and long. Bothheim, can he pick up a header down? No. That was calm defending, wasn't it? That's what you like your defenders to do, not just simply head it back to them. Come on, boys. Let's get at them here. I'm wondering if we need to change something tactically here, perhaps. One thing I'm considering is looking to exploit the flanks. Another cross into the back post, and James Bree is absolutely rubbish. Alright, let's look to change something here. I'm wondering if we are maybe just a little bit too high up. Let's get stuck in. Let's maybe drop this line a little bit. We'll counter press. We'll be more expressive. What else do we want to do here? Let's maybe look to exploit the flank. See if that works out for us. We haven't played well though, have we? We need to try and spark something here, I think. So let's take McGinn off for Silla. Let's see if that makes any difference. Pedro we are retraining him in the position, but he hasn't really filled himself with any glory there, has he, the way he's playing so far. He's looking nervous as well. Corner comes in. Can we get that away? We can't. I want to say Gaz had that covered again. Yeah, Bothheim's not playing great, so let's bring the lab on for him. Complete forward. That's where he likes to play. Anything else? I feel like, maybe the team talk was a little bit wrong for this particular team. If we get a goal, we need to attack anyway, don't we? Let's maybe give it a no pressure. Just relax, boys. Breeze on a booking now. We need something soon, don't we? This hasn't been a good performance from us. Not in the slightest. Let's pause it for a second here. Why can't I do that? Alright. Let's push Silla forward. He's not a natural in the position, but he certainly could play the role, couldn't he? Let's try that. And as an attacking midfield on attack as well. Let's get him running at the opposition too. He's an amazing, amazing dribbler of 18. So we want him running at the defense if we can possibly manage that. All right, let's see if that makes any difference at all. We just look like we've never really got going, have we? And it's turning into a little bit of a mess here. I mean, lessons. The good thing about this is that, as I said, if we don't win here, Barcelona's out. So it's not the worst thing. We've already guaranteed ourselves top of the group. This has meant we can learn things. What we've learned, I think, is Pedro is not a left wing back as of yet. Yeah, Brian has work to do. Brian was actually doing really, really well in the under-23s. We put him back there for a bit. Lee Hendry's not quite ready for this level yet. Yeah, can we get one back? A nice consolation goal. Harry Thomas from the corner, attacked clear. And that is the end of it. Well, let me know what you think in the comments. I don't think it was a complete waste. We've learnt lessons we maybe didn't want to learn. Rather than things we did want to learn. It's been sort of a negative. We've learnt players can't do it. But, yeah. I do wonder as well, I think maybe my team talk was a little bit off. I maybe should have been taking pressure off. Yeah, it's 16 hours football for Brian Carlos without a goal. Bothheim struggling a little bit all of a sudden as well. But, you know, as I said, look on the bright side, guys. We've topped the group. We did what we needed to do. We've knocked Barcelona out by losing that game, so that's a good thing. Because we showed it, as I said, at home that we can beat Inter if we need to. So, I mean, although those two results, if it went on away goals, they would have got us if it was a two-leg affair. But we wouldn't have played that team, would we? Anyway, guys, that is it for today. If you have enjoyed that episode, I apologise for the Inter result. I didn't expect it to be quite so bad, if I'm honest. But like I say, lessons have been learnt. But if you have enjoyed that, please do hit thumbs up. And if you're new to the channel, welcome. Make sure you're subscribing and ring the bell if you know when I upload new episodes. Of course, we have Knockout League football coming now, don't we, in the Champions League. We did get the FA Cup third round draw. We're going to be playing Fulham at home. They're a championship club. We're not going to take it too seriously. But we'll see how far we can get, obviously. We will be back. We'll be back on Saturday, and look at these festive fixtures. West Brom and Wolverhampton, both at Villa Park. Could we have picked any better fixtures, really? So that is all for, as I said, for Saturday, the festive fixtures. So until then, I've been Aussie Villa. Thank you so much for watching, and here are our goals of the month for November. Take care.